Okay, growth mindset, math maniac Panthers. This is going to help you with Unit 1 and 2 test number 3. Number 3, notice that these aren't the exact same problems they give you, but they are so close that they should end up being really super helpful for you. We're going to start with this 40 to 20. 40 to 20 is written. That's one way you can write it. If you write it as a fraction bar, it would be 40 to 20. That fraction bar is kind of like the word to. Oops, maybe I'll make my purple a little bit smaller, my highlighter. There we go. And then finally you can say 40 and then use a colon, not your intestines. I know that's a nasty joke. Okay, 40 to 20. Not the nicest joke ever. And this means the 2 this time. Okay, going into that. Now here comes the trick. If you take the fraction form right here, it can work magic. Fraction magic. Yes, fractions can be your friend, your big time friend in this particular situation. Where'd my purple go? I don't know why it disappeared. All right, so let's do that. Let's take 40 to 20. And we can take one at a time if you want. Now, see, luckily in your math assignment, they don't give you all of these at once. They only give you like 4 or 5 choices. So you don't have to do what I'm about to do to every single one of these. There's other ways to go about this. But using my so-called butterfly cheat method, which you may have heard of, which some people frown upon these days, but we're going to use it right now because we're in a bind. We're going to set this equal to another fraction. We're going to do one at a time. We can do 1 over 2. If we go 1 over 2, so we'll start with this one up here to see if it works. 1 over 2, right? We'll see if it works for this method. And we do something called cross multiplying. It's also known as butterfly. I think because if you draw a circle like this, I think this is why they call it the butterfly method. Hold on, I'm having a little delay here. Here we go. Butterfly. I think because if you do this, you kind of make something that looks like a butterfly, especially if you put a little head on it like this, little eyes. I think butterflies have these little things like this or something. Yeah, and then it's got like a tail kind of thing, right? So what does this mean? So if we go 20 times 1, let's do that. 20 times 1. And that should equal, see the middle of the butterfly? Now we'll go blue. So I want to do blue. Purple, now I use purple. Let's try pink. Do I have pink? There we go. 40 times 2. And if this is true, then these two fractions, or in this case ratios, are equal to each other. They're equivalent. But I can kind of tell already that they're not. All right, can you see that? 20 times 1 is 20. And that does not equal 40 times 2, because 40 times 2 is 80. So I can tell these are not equal. So I'll go on to the next one. Erase. Okay, so let's try it the other way. Let's try, so we can say it's not 1 over 2. Could it be 2 over 1? Let's try. 2 over 1. 2 over 1. Does that equal? Well, I think we started with the 40 last time, didn't we? Let's keep it consistent. Let's start with the 40 over 40 to 20. Does that equal 2 over 1? Some of you could probably already tell that it does, because the old method we would use, it would be like, well, how do you go from 20 to 1? Divide by 20. How do you go from 40 to 2? Is divided by 20 going to give you? Yes, it does. So that's one way to do it. But this butterfly method also works. Let's give it a try and see what happens. Make a beautiful butterfly. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo-ba-doo-boo-die. Maybe I should really look what a butterfly looks like before I try to draw one. Maybe next time. Okay, so let's do this. 40 times 1. 40 times 1. Does that equal 20 times 2? I can tell already it does, can you? There's my pink wings, kind of crisscross, right? My yellow wing parts. 40 times 1 is 40. 20 times 2 is 40, so I know that these are equivalent. There's one of my answers. And you can just go on and keep doing this all the way through until you find all of them. Do I do one more with you? Remember, this is not exactly the same as your quiz, but it's close enough that you should be very successful with it. Let's try one more. Oh, you know what? Did I just notice something? 30 to 20 equals, should we do 6 over 3? Some of you are probably always saying, I can see that that's gonna not work or work. Not really sure. You know what doesn't work is if we try to go from 20 to 3. It doesn't work very nicely, does it? So maybe this crisscross thing is going to save us. This butterfly is going to save us. Let's see. 40 times 3. Will that equal 20 times 6? I'm not sure if I'm doing my wings the same crisscross way, but either way, hopefully it'll make sense to you. 40 times 3. Does that equal 20 times 6? 40 times 3, 20 times 6. Now I got to do a little bit of extra math over here. I'm going to do 40 times 3 over here. 40 times 3, because I have to make it horizontal. That's not horizontal, it's vertical. Vertical's up and down, horizontal's left to right. See, vertical, horizontal. All right, so 3 times 0, 3 times 4 is 12, 120. Okay, so this is 120. If my pink pink colored parts of the wings are the same as 120, I know we have a wiener here. I'm going to erase this so I can have some more room to do my math. 20 times 6. 20 times 6. And that comes from, just so you know, that's coming from my pink side. All right, 6 times 0. Oh, my pink disappeared. 12. There it is. It is 120. I'll be darned. This is equivalent. This might be really helpful for you. Okay, so that's one of the answers. So if that's one of the answers, the 6 over 3, then we know that this 3 over 6 is not one of the answers. Does that help us with anything else on here? I don't know. Alrighty. You're on your own now for this one. That's 10 minutes. That's way too long for one problem. Actually, it's for 3 problems in a way because it's variations of one problem. And it'll help you. This concept will help you, I bet, with other problems on this test. Enjoy. Let me know if I can do things better. Of course I can. You can always do better. But let me know if you know exactly what I can do to make things better. That's what we call constructive feedback. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye.